Hello and welcome. It's been a long journey to this point, but we're here. We're finally here. It's time. A friend of mine recently expressed interest in a certain Australian traditional children's party food. He, like most Americans, I think, doesn't quite know what all it entails. It's called fairy bread, and as magical as that sounds, it's apparently what they use to tide their children over at their rambunctious children parties. So, they go to the store, they buy the cheapest stuff they can find, throw it together, and they're like, "Hey kids, have at it," and the kids, and it's fun for everybody. I did my research. I read an article by an actual Australian on the subject, and she seemed very upset about the fact that a lot of Americans try to make it something that it's not. So today I wanted to make a very authentic, true Australian fairy bread using the cheapest ingredients I could find. And then also make a version where I make it something that it's not. So the first thing you're going to want is plain white bread. No whole grain, no part grains, no grains at all. White bread. And in staying in spirit, I went with the cheapest, which was of course the store brand. You can use...
Oh, you guys are filming?
So of course the cheapest was the store brand. I don't want to put a single ounce of this in my body. As per ancient Australian tradition, you open up the bread package. Okay, this twist tie was made by a master Boy Scout. Gosh dang it.
Do you want scissors? Okay then.
After you've opened up your bread, you're going to want to take a piece. I feel like I'm going to lose my fingertips just from touching it. It smells like fish. Your next ingredient is your butter. I used what the Ficomas had on them. It doesn't get cheaper than that. You're going to want to take your butter and this butter's hard. I thought I asked for some butter, and not whatever this is. Take some room temperature butter and spread it on your bread. Do you hear that? Do you hear that magical music? The making of this magical fairy bread? Then the icing on the proverbial cake and the literal sprinkles on the bread as you put sprinkles on the bread. Oh no, we meet again. My man, Calvin. Because literally I started peeling up the metal part of the seal, the foil part, and then there's a plastic part underneath that was supposed to come up with it and didn't. So we're just going with the knife that Calvin's used to murder wild hogs with. And probably hasn't cleaned. There might be sprinkles all over your counter. This is why you buy something vaguely less cheap. Because this doesn't come with a shaker or anything, little holes, so you don't pour. Essentially what they want you to do is just pour this entire container on this piece of bread. So then you just sprinkle her up. Are you ready to taste the fruits of our labor? Cheers to Australians.
Yum.
I get why the kids like it.
This is the most disgusting thing.
I just food's not that bad.
Okay, the bread is terrible.
Yeah. The bread tastes like sadness.
As a food critic, I give this a -2 out of 10.
As Devin O'Neill, I give this more sprinkles, please. I didn't like the way that feels.
If you want to know what I just did, I just threw it away.
Bread, as we all know, was discovered in 1882 by German computer scientist Arnold when he accidentally stumbled on a rock. And there was bread down there. And we've been eating it ever since. The article I read said to definitely not use any sort of artisan bread like sourdough or, Chicago white, but it's so fluffy and light and a little bit stale. Oh, it expired 2 days ago. So even when I try to use the nice bread, I don't have the nice bread.
Here's a fancy little sauce.
Grab your fancy little saucepan. Grab your butter. Eat a little. No, sorry. Put the butter in the pan. You're gonna want to put like a tablespoon of butter in there, and you're gonna want to turn on the stove. I usually do that first. Put the stove on high for a nice burnt texture. Otherwise, don't do that. And then we added cinnamon, which there's some debate about the appropriate amount of cinnamon and what would entail the appropriate amount.
That's a lot of cinnamon, Devin. Devin, stop.
And then we added sugar to the mixture, which what I was trying to accomplish here, there is a way to do, and this is not that way. I burnt a pan. I might never be allowed back in the Fikama household again. Learn from my mistake. Never do on a stove what can be done in a microwave. So after you've done all that, you will have a piece of bread with some butter that is melted on it, and there's cinnamon and sugar inside of it. Next you're going to take some Marshmallow Fluff, and you're going to, again, store brand, so we're still sticking with our theme. Oh, the butter's running on my hands through the giant holes in the bread. Don't want too thick of a layer, but the nice light airiness of the marshmallow reminds me of the light airiness of a mythical woodland creature, which is what it's all about. Now, traditional fairy bread involves the use of those gross tiny little sprinkles. The sprinkles I really like are the long ones that are kind of like soft and crumbly. Like soggy bread. And of course I got some of these sparkly silver sprinkles because magic, as they say. I don't like the multicolored happiness of these sprinkles, but that's what we got to work with. You want to have a tasteful amount of the colored sprinkles on there. Not too many. And then, your silver ones, you just basically want to cover up all the colored ones. Give it that special little magic kick. You add some nutmeg. By the way, our nutmeg comes with a nice warning on the side. Caution! Large amounts of nutmeg or mace may cause dizziness, stomach pains, rapid pulse, nausea, anxiety, liver pain, double vision, and coma. Isn't that lovely? It only cost us one pan and a few dollars, but look at that. Oh yeah. Look at that. It sparkles like it's magic. Under ordinary circumstances, I would categorize this as a solid no. But I've had a long day, and this sugar's doing something for me, so. Careful, the swab has come off. You don't know what to make of it.
Out of the first one.
There you go. That's progress. Learn you something, Australians. This has been Cooking in the Kitchen. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you all next time. So obviously that friend that I made it for in the first place has to go taste it. So we're gonna go down to our local neighborhood Chick-fil-A and bombard him with this horrible bread. No, I'm holding it out.
You guys are like cavemen, like you're like.
It's a bee. And careful, it looks like Brussels sprouts. That ain't no Brussels sprouts.
Any day.
Is this fairy bread?
It is. Oh, that's the other thing is I forgot to cut it into triangles. It was very specific that it must be cut into triangles, and I completely forgot.
And you fucking know.
Yeah, if you just want to pick it up and not look at it, please.
I just don't want to screw anything up. Oh, okay, sounds good.
Yum.
Delicious.